I think Ukraine's on the threshold now. I mean, at any time, I think Ukraine can break at this point. It just depends on the weather and where the Russians are probing and what the situation is with their power grid and other ability to supply. I think they're on the edge right now, and that they can break at any time. They could last another month. They could break tomorrow. I think it just really depends.
I don't think they can break because I don't think the people who got into this war have the objective that you guys seem to think they do. I could be wrong here, but it seems to me.
I'm talking about just the military forces on the field breaking. The government might want to stand strong, but I'm talking about I could see units and parts of the front line breaking at any point now.
Okay, but that doesn't mean the Russians are going to advance because, like, if you have a look at what the Russians have done in Kherson and in Kharkiv especially, right? They pulled right back and they said to Ukraine, "Here, you guys run Kharkiv." Right? Now that's a bit weird, given that Kharkiv was one of the target cities in all of the propaganda, and that Kharkiv is so close to Russia. So you've got to start to ask yourself, why are the Russians giving up this territory to the Ukrainian administration? Right?
They can't hold.
And the answer is kind of instructive. It's like Poland and NATO have to pay for it. They have to run it.
Yeah.
Ukraine doesn't have a functioning economy right now. Ukraine is a black hole of money, right? And that's not what
you mentioned that because
wants, right? If you think about, like, what did Poland imagine at the start of this war? What did NATO imagine? They imagined the same as we did, that Russia would go in, they would completely annihilate the Ukrainian military. They would take over everything, right? And then Poland could do what America did in Western Europe in World War II, march into Lvov, take the Western provinces, and be heroic liberators, right? And all the people there would say, "Oh, you've saved us, plus we're in the EU." And then you'd have a net result. Russia would have got back a big bunch of land, most of which would really resent their occupation. They'd be fighting Afghanistan on steroids. And Poland would be the victorious liberators who get a whole bunch of the Polish Empire back. And so that would have been a net benefit. What Poland can't do is they can't take over central Ukraine and then make it Poland, because then they'll be the occupiers. They'll be fighting a war of insurgency against these hyper-nationalist Ukrainians. If Russia sits back, Ukraine is too big for Poland to swallow. And it hasn't got a functioning economy, so it's just a black hole of money and mercenaries, right? Poland can't take Lvov while Russia sits back, right? If Russia sits back, Ukraine is an absolute nightmare because it's a completely failed state. It's a broken state. It has no functioning economy at all. And guess who's paying for that? Not them, right?
So that basically means that
no one wants to swallow a nationalistic Ukraine and own that insurgency. You know, Russia's fought that before. Russia's occupied countries that have been insurgencies before. It's an absolute nightmare. Nobody wants that. Who wants Ukraine? Nobody, right? They all want their bits of it. And so it actually suits Russia to have a powerful Ukraine, too big for Poland to swallow, right?